here we go. Welcome to episode 3 of Off Track. Alright, so what a week. What a week it's been. It's steaming hot outside. It's already 27 degrees. It was just a week ago that it was -0. That's okay. You know, we'll figure it out as we go. Went outside, already have a sunburn. First sunburn of the year. It's not even May. I'm itchy. So, if you listen to the other previous two episodes, you know that I'm dealing with a little bit of a rash. I went to my doctor. I saw her for about a grand total of 30 seconds. I lifted up my shirt, showed her some red spots. She said that's allergic reaction. I said I have no allergies. I said, is it psoriasis? She said no. I said, is it bed bugs? She said, no. Well, I got medication. I got Benadryl, whatever. I thought, maybe I could have definitely developed an allergic reaction. I could have developed an allergy. People do that, even though I was skeptical. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Well, 2 weeks later, it never got any better. I checked myself into the hospital. I talked to a doctor. He gave me more than 30 seconds because that's what a doctor is supposed to do. And lo and behold, I got the virus. Okay, I got the virus. And I'm not talking about fucking COVID-19. I'm talking about pityriasis rosea. And it's a moderate case. If you try your best to spell that in your Google search, you will absolutely see the most severe cases of it for Google Images. I have about 60% of those photos. And guess what? It lasts up to 8 weeks. So strap in. This is going to be a great next couple months for me here. I've got red spots all over my arms and my forearms, my stomach, my back, the inner part of my thigh, my butt. It's great. I'm itchy. I'm at work, scratching like a meth addict. It doesn't seem to be getting any better. I got a stronger cream to put on it. It takes the redness away, so at least if I am shirtless, it doesn't look like I'm just some sort of mutated, spotted human, like a leopard. It's just so itchy, man. I'm recording this podcast, and I'm 2 minutes and 49 seconds, and I've already dug into my legs 6 times. Started out as hives around my navel. I got this one thing, it's called the Herald patch underneath my fucking left hip. And it's literally like, it looks like it's a jube-sized fucking patch that kind of looks like a dragon scale, okay? It just looks like dried skin that's super fucking scaly and super itchy. But there's no new spots developing, which I'm told that means I'm about halfway through it, so that's good. I've had it for 3 weeks, at least 3 more. I'm down. It's great. My uncle used to have psoriasis, so I was so fucking scared it was going to be psoriasis, and he had such a bad case of it. But he used to fucking love working outside in the heat with no shirt on. He said it would help his psoriasis. It just felt so good to have the heat on it and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just following in those footsteps now. I stopped taking my pre-workout. Some people know that I compete in bodybuilding. I'm in my off season. I'm enjoying all sorts of foods right now. One of my favorite snacks, especially if I'm just feeling like not accounting for a cheat meal, if I just want to be what I call bad and just eat some fucking food, is I just like tortilla chips and salsa. Well, I just started doing that in the last couple weeks. So I was like, okay, the allergic reaction, it's got to be that salsa. I stopped fucking buying that. Stopped eating that. Dude. Developing an allergic reaction whenever you're fucking 25 years old, that's how you know, okay, I'm no longer invincible. That's how you know, okay, time is real. That's how you know, okay, one day I'm going to sit in the toilet and my balls are going to touch the water. It's super unfortunate, and it's just a part of life. How much worse does it get after that? That's what you immediately start thinking. Okay, what's the next thing that's going to be absolutely terrible in my life? What next thing is going to just send my mind right into the shitter? So I've got this medication. It seems to be working pretty good. It smells like shit, so I have to double up on deodorant and cologne and everything at work. First of all, I thought it might have been deodorant or cologne that was giving me these hives, man. Like, what are you supposed to do there? So I'm hoping it gets better. I mean, the doctor, even at the hospital, I'm like, he's like asking me all these questions. He's like, have you had unprotected sex in the last month? I'm like, no. He's asking me if I have, a wife or a girlfriend, if it's usually one partner and all this stuff. I'm freaking out because the night before I went to the hospital, I'm on WebMD myself, and I'm like typing in my symptoms and all this shit. Like, is it sensitive to heat? Is it sensitive to cold? Is it all this stuff? And I'm like putting in all my answers, and it's like, you might have HIV. Like, no, too early for that. Give me at least 10 more years, And then I tell the doctor, I'm like, how irrational is that? Like at WebMD, literally everything you put in, it just gives you the worst outcome. He's like, well, that was the reason why I was asking you these sexual questions. I'm like, dude, does this look like hello? Do not tell me there's even 1% chance this is HIV, Anyways, I'm definitely never getting laid after this podcast releases, so that's good. It's great. I'm probably not posting any shirtless pics anytime soon, that's for sure, Like I said, it is a moderate case. It's definitely not hardly a case. There's definitely at least 50 red spots all over my body. I was looking online, and first of all, it's wild that you just you type in some sort of skin condition, and then the Google Images is there is no not safe for work filter. There's just straight up pussies and cocks and fucking titties on there, just with red spots all over them. It's like, oh well, if I'm 6 years old and I'm fucking really looking for it, I could have found that for sure. But other than that, it was pretty good. Last weekend, it was Easter. I was itching the whole time I was here. I only had my grandma and my great aunt, my mom, and one of my cousins here. And, of course, my dog, Jeanette. And, of course, my grandma. We asked her, we're asking everyone, what do they want, and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. This is a few days before. She goes, KFC. And I go, that's not Easter dinner. And she goes, I know, but I really want it. And I go, aw, Grandma. Aw, Grandma, I'll do it. Love my grandmother so much. She's one of the, she came to my house, though, and the first thing she does when she sits down, she goes, wow, I'm going to be 70 this year. And I go, huh, so morbid. So depressing. So let's change the topic. My grandmother's sister, my great aunt, she's say if you added 40 years onto the mountain from Game of Thrones, but also shrunk the mountain about 9 feet, and then gave her what's like a Jerry curl, but for a female. That's my great aunt, and I love her. She's so sweet to me. She's a hoarder, for sure. You go into her house, and there's literally a few issues of newspaper on the floor. I'm like, oh, not good. What's going on? Hope that's not my future. So we all had KFC. Grandma's so cute, man. She straight up brought me an Easter basket with hollow plastic eggs, and she's gangster, man. So in some of the eggs, just napkins. Okay, in some of the eggs, just pennies. There's no pennies in circulation anymore. And there's loonies and toonies. Then there's some of my favorite candy. She got me a card. It was just nice. We're in Ontario. We're under this lockdown again, a stay-at-home order. People are beginning to fight it, man. In Kempful, which is 30 minutes from my house, maybe 40, there was an organized Facebook peaceful protest. People getting together, of course, without masks, which is whatever, Every person should have their choice, I believe, in that's the funny thing about freedom is if you don't want to go out, you don't have to. And then if you do want to go out, you can. And that's freedom, And I'm not about to get political or ethical. This is not a political rant, But I think this lockdown in Ontario might finally be the one where if it's extended, I mean, it hasn't even been extended. It's only been about a week, if that. And not even. I think it was Thursday at midnight, and I'm recording this on Saturday. That people can't, everything is closed, and even big box stores, they have to close off non-essential items, blah, 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 blah. All this crap. People are fed up. I haven't seen this much animosity. At our local Walmart, I guess, because I never go to that place. I fucking hate that place. That place is a fucking zoo in the best of times. Someone backed up into someone. The person that got backed up into fucking came out with no mask on in the other guy's face, and they had an altercation. All of a sudden, there was a knife pulled. People are just on edge. It's just insane what's going on here. And, it's just... I think people have had enough, but it was nice to get that gathering together. It's just nice to see your family. It was 5 people anyways, which is really within the rules, but, anyone that knows me, I don't really want more than 5 people at my house for any reason anyways. That's good. That's good. Got a nice age range there. Of course, I'm the only guy there. They're talking about whatever the fuck women talk about, The crazy thing is, I'm 28, and I still don't know how to politely get people to leave my house, or exit a conversation into a fucking extra from my house. I don't know how to do it. Like I said, I love all these people that are at my house, but the dinner's done, we've played games or whatever, we've talked about whatever, memories come up, and then it's just, you sit around, you're making up some sort of nonsense about whatever everyone's half watching. We were watching the LA Clippers and LA Lakers game, and it's like, my aunt goes, I didn't know that LeBron still played for them. He's injured, you know what I mean? They just showed a clip of him. And then I go, yep, he does. My grandma goes, I've always really liked him. I've always liked him. I wasn't a big fan of Michael Jordan, but I like LeBron. It's like, I know, guys, and that's great, but they don't. That's the thing. They don't have anything else to do, unfortunately, They're 70-ish, They don't get to see my cousin very often, so it was nice that I was able to get her up here, too. I was able to get her up here, and they see her, and she's at that age where she's in high school, and they're asking about if she's liking it, and every single kid that ever goes to high school fucking hates high school if they have half a brain and any personality, and you have to pretend like you're really trying hard and all this stuff. High school, I straight up, and I've told people that I have been intimate with, okay, that I really actually do have nightmares, once a month. And it's a nightmare, okay? I can sort of I'm aware of my real life emotions while I'm in the dream, feeling the emotions. And it straight up does actually scare me outside of the dream whenever I have a nightmare about me going back to school. And I'm not talking about college. College is okay. You get a little bit more freedom. You kind of you don't have to go to every class. You go to 9% of your classes. There's a lot of social life things that are happening there. It's a lot more like the real world. But high school or even, public school, elementary school, no way, man. Homework, if someone that's the most haunting shit ever. Someone springs surprise homework up on you again, dude. I do have nightmares, though. I have nightmares that, I'm a teenager and then all my other friends are like normal adults and I'm the only one that's still in high school and I have to do this fucking homework and like they're like, hey, do you want to go out for to eat or whatever this weekend? I'm like, dude, I can't. I have a science project that's due two fucking days from now, man. Like, that shit straight up haunts me. I'm going to go to the grave with it, dude. I'm 28. I've been out of high school for fucking 10 years, and I still have these. This is a real. Some people have like real traumatic shit happen to them, and they have like nightmares about it, like whether it be like sexual assault or like a robbery or something like that, or like stalking or whatever it is. Dude, I straight up have. Dude, my sexual assaulters were straight up. Dude, the people that really fucking, if you want to get into stalking and harassing me, dude, they were my high school teachers, man. And they didn't do it physically. They did it by passing me a paper that says this is due by this day. And that's what happened, man. That shit is, I can't, sometimes I'm like, man, do I want to go back to fucking, do I want to get go to post-grad and all this stuff? Like, blah, blah, blah. I graduated from print and broadcast journalism. It ends right about there because I'm like, oh, I'll have homework to do. I'll have projects to do. I'll have to fucking hand something in. Like, it ends there. Dude, at my new job, which is a sales job, people are so open about their illicit drug use, and it's so funny. Dude, it's so relaxed there. It's like, first of all, I already know that one of my I've been there 2 weeks. One of my coworkers' boyfriends thinks that Obama is a sex trafficker and he worships Satan and he thinks that he played a major role in starting this scandemic. Okay? Now, I do not believe that government has only our best interests at this point with the lockdowns and everything. I think that they've leveraged some sort of power, and I think they're a little bit reluctant to give it back. But I don't think that, for example, Doug Ford is a Satanist, and I don't think that Justin Trudeau worships Satan and are doing things because they're, bloodthirsty, deviant, highly unethical Satanists, okay? Like, there's even a different coworker of mine. He's telling me, like, it's the Rothschilds and all these people that, like, they have their hands up everyone's ass and they're blackmailing everyone that's in power. Every single sanction that comes out is really, it's word of mouth, trickle down and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, how do I run the scanner, dude? Like, how do I send an email to this customer? Hey, can I get this in black, or is it just the floor model? He's like, you really got to you got to watch these videos on YouTube, man, and they're great. You just watch the next recommended one, and you learn so much about it. It's like, there's these guys, this, hand behind the scene that's, blackmailing people and getting people suicided and all this stuff. And he's like, you never hear about the real causes of death until like 4 years later. I'm like, hey, man, so we're open till 7 tonight, right? Seems to be a real hoot and holler. Of course, I'm fitting right in with them. A couple of them are like, you should really try radio broadcasting. Why don't you just put a resume on a Bob FM up the road? I'm like, okay, well, maybe, Definitely not going to tell you guys about this podcast anymore, for sure. But I've dabbled in some things, I think I am actually going to do that, though. I think I'm just going to start sending them a resume and a cover letter once per day, and then progressively just get more creative ways to get the cover letter and the resume to them. I'll start with like simply emailing it and then phoning in, maybe taking one in person. It'll escalate to like taping it to the wall. I can fucking wedge it in between windows and shit. I got an air duct out back, and I'll literally stuff it so it gets 40 degrees in there because it's fucking 40 degrees outside for some reason, even though 3 days ago it was minus 40. It's crazy, man. Man, Listen, last episode we were talking about OnlyFans and like, you know, like selling feet pics and stuff like that. Or maybe that was the unaired episode. Bad Baby made $1 million on OnlyFans in a day. Hello? First of all, obviously she must be 18 or 19 or whatever the legal age is, whatever state she lives in. I'm pretty sure she's American. But like, she is not super attractive. Okay? She doesn't look like she's super talented. I don't know. Like, I haven't listened to her music or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out, like, dude, are people, they're not trolling her by giving her money. So there's real fans out there. Someone really contributed to actually wanting to see enough of her, I guess, body, right? Like, I'm guessing that's what it's for. For her to make $1 million in 6 hours? Man, I would actually, like, I'm not kidding you. This is not a joke and it's not an exaggeration. I don't care. I'm shameless, okay? Especially when it comes, like, I'll go into a fucking Walmart and I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll make up a story that my wife has herpes, okay? And I actually went into a Walmart with a video, with my phone recording, and said to a pharmacist that was mostly foreign, the Walmart pharmacist, and I said, hey, my wife has a little, and I don't have a wife. This was made up. It was just something that I did out of the blue to make someone laugh. And I said, my wife's got a little bit too much cheese on the taco. Can you give me a recommendation for a product to help that? And he said, cheese on the taco? And I said, cheese on the taco. I need a product to help that. I don't care. I'm very shameless, okay? I'll dig up this fucking video and I'll air it next podcast. I don't give a fuck. The thing is, okay, I actually will, for $500, show anyone the inside of my butthole. And I don't care. I will fucking landscape. I'll smooth it out. I'll look into whatever or how you bleach. $500 a pop, a peek, a wink. I'll show you the inside of my butthole. I don't care. And if it turns out that people are doing it just to troll Bad Baby, I want you to troll me, but also give me $500, and I will show you the inside of my butthole. Man, that's insane. That's insane. Like, I know people that do OnlyFans and that, like, they do, like, premium Snapchats and stuff like that. And I'm talking about females, and these are females that I knew from college, and I no longer am in a serious friendship or relationship with any of them. But I know people that do it under aliases and still work day jobs, and it's just a side hustle, and they still make several $100s a month out of it. Now, that's not enough, obviously, to live off of, but they're not going at it full time. They never show their face, like they're all using fake names as supplemental income. It's literally insane that anyone can do that now, and random people that you don't even know will fork out money for you to do a 30-second video of you twerking, or like a 10-second video of you lifting up your shirt. Like, it's wild. But my offer still stands. Like, I don't know how it would work, because my ego, like, it would affect my ego too much. Like, that would hurt my ego way too much if I was like, I'm going to pay for anyone in the world to see their crotch, their friggin' see their crotch, or their nips, or anything. That would make me think, like, oh shit, I'm not good enough to do that. Like, I can't do that. I can't work the art of seduction enough to get that for free. Like, that would fuck with my ego so much. I've never paid for anything like that. But, like, guys will do that, I guess. And I guess not all of them are like your classic incels or you're like your classic like nerds or like guys that can't get laid or anything like that. Like guys will just actually do that can get laid or can get, I don't really like saying this word, but they can get pussy themselves. Like they can do it. I don't know, man. Like maybe it's different if you make like $1 million a year and you're just going to fork out $1,000 to this girl over the span of a year, then that's nothing, I guess, you know. I don't know. But then I also know a girl that was fucking straight up looking into and kind of did a trial run of getting a sugar daddy, and she's like, this is the exact opposite of what I thought. She's like, this guy is, you know, he's like well off and all this stuff, and he's not going to like treat me well or anything like that. Like he's not actually looking for a girlfriend or looking for someone to pretend to be his girlfriend. He's actually just treating her like shit and trying to do sex on her. And first of all, she was so unattracted to him that she didn't do it, but she did send him wild pics and videos. And I don't get where this comes from. Like I don't know, man. If you have that much money anyways, and you're like, I don't know. That's kind of shallow of me, I guess. Like maybe, obviously not, money isn't everything, but like if you can attract a girl to be your sugar baby, you would think you could actually attract someone similar to actually be your girlfriend, you would think. I don't know. I'm not into that world. And I'm not saying I never will be, but I'm never going to be. Man, all I could think about, though, whenever we're having Easter dinner is there's this donut shop, and unfortunately it's fucking closed now because of the lockdown. Thanks a lot, Doug! In Brothel, it's called Wish Upon a Donut. And first of all, these are the second best donuts I've ever had in my entire life. Number one is fucking Donut Monster in Hamilton. It's the fucking tits. Donut Monster in Hamilton had a mint chocolate chip donut. Oh, so good. And it had mint flavored icing sugar in the middle of it. Oh, actually so good. But these the Wish Upon a Donut fucking things that she makes actual blueberries and cream and puts it inside a blueberry frosted donut, and it's called blueberries and cream. And then there's strawberries and cream. There's orange creamsicle. It's real strawberries. It's real orange. It's so fucking good, and they're closed right now, man. I swear to God, I've said this since I was fucking 18, dude. Doesn't matter if I compete for another 11 years till I'm 39 in bodybuilding. Whenever I'm 40, I'm getting so fucking fat, dude. I'm going to the gym maybe once a week. I'm not doing any cardio, and I'm getting so fat, and I'm going to be 350 pounds from when I'm 41. So from my fucking birthday, when I'm 40, to 1 year later, I'm fucking packing on 150 or 160 pounds. And you can hold me to that, too. And I will still be selling fucking pictures of the inside of my butthole. Man, I thought we were going to get Liam in here today. Turns out he's busy. We're doing the solo pod, you know. It is what it is. Even today, I'm still a little self-conscious. I'm like, I'm actually just talking to myself right now for half an hour. We're going to make this episode about 35 minutes, maybe 40. I got a few other things I want to talk about. But it's just good to have, just whenever I'm getting, riled up about something, it's just good to jump in there. It's just good to have a discussion, bounce off some other people. But at the same time, you're not going to get this far-fetched of a fucking commentary from fucking two of us because Liam's going to interject and slow me down. So, we're getting really off track here. It's crazy, though, man. Like, we were in Ontario, everyone was fucking laughing at California. Everybody in Ontario was laughing at California. Like, that some guys, like, yeah, no screaming on the roller coasters. Like, how insane do you have to be? Dude, imagine going for a loop on a roller coaster and not going, oh, fuck! Dude, First of all, until I was 16, I was straight up terrified to go on a loop. I would go on the fastest roller coasters. We went to La Ronde or Canada's Wonderland or wherever, or if it was a straight drop down. But dude, you put me on that loop, and for some reason I was like, these guys, they don't really account for safety. This belt is not going. If I go through that loop, I'm gonna fucking pop out the bottom. Dude, the first time I did that, I did not yell, I did not shout, I screamed. It was high pitched. You couldn't tell the difference between what was my voice and a 14-year-old girl's voice. Dude, that is literally insane. Who ever thought of that? That guy is a torture specialist. That is the guy. That's a fucking close relative to fucking the guy that invented waterboarding. Now I fucking love them, though. Dude, I haven't went to an amusement park in a couple years, but, like, fuck, man. Go through Top Gun, or you go through some of these other ones at Canada's Wonderland, they got, like, fucking 3 consecutive loops, and I fucking ride the ride, I shit my pants, I come out with a smile, and I get right back in that fucking line, dude. That shit's the best. Dude, here's the actual best, though. And call me whatever you want, but... Dude, the rides where, like, you're in this fucking half roller coaster, half boat thing, and you go in the water and you dive, you nose dive in the water, and the water splashes you so hard that your fucking shirt comes over your head, or like your sunglasses pop off and shit. That shit's the best, man. That's the best. And the only thing that makes it way better is when there's a couple that's about 40 to 45 that go on it together, and they're wearing loose clothing, and they're tremendously out of shape. They've never seen a gym in their life, and all of their clothing gets blown off. Nothing is better than that. That's the peak of the amusement park experience. That, or walking up to a ride and seeing someone throw up from the last ride that they went on. Whenever you're going to do that ride, and then you're walking towards it, you're like, oh, this is going to be fun. Like, I haven't been on this one yet today. Someone's coming off that ride, and they immediately throw up. Those are the only things that are top tier, that are God tier at the amusement park. Like, bottom tier is, like, if you go with, like, a small relative, or, like, if you have kids and you go with your kids and you have to do, like, the lazy river, and, like, 14 fucking people that are on the 50-man lazy river right now already fucking pissed in the lazy river, and you're in this new fucking plasma sort of liquid that's half urine and half water, the water is still dirty without the piss in it. Who knows, like, what even is going to be the schedule for fucking La Ronde and Canada's Wonderland this year? I wanted to go to Park Safari last year. I was going to go with this girl I was seeing-ish and her 2 kids, and you couldn't even feed the animals. Park Safari, it's like you drive through a zoo is what it is, and 3/4 of the thrill is feeding the animals. Well, they don't let you do that. Okay, well, thanks. I'll drive 3 hours into a different province and just drive beside animals and take all the experience away from me. I don't even know if they let you roll down the windows. Man, they give you these snacks in these boxes, okay? And it's like, my dog wouldn't eat them. It literally is like, it's like cardboard snacks inside of a cardboard box. And they have camels that literally walk around. Sometimes they'll, like, straight up put a hoof on your hood. Like, they'll dent your car. And I went 2 years ago with someone, or 3 years ago with someone. And, yes. Is it unethical to take different people to the same date at a different period? Like, if you're dating someone 3 years ago and you took them to Park Safari, but also 1 year after that you're dating someone and you want to take them to Park Safari because you're selfish and you really like Park Safari, is that unethical? Yes. Do you still do it anyways? Yes. Do you still have a good time doing it? Yes. Okay, now that we're over that, I had the generic box of cardboard treats in the cardboard box that I was going to feed to these camels. Well, The camel stuck its whole fucking head and neck in my car and gobbled up the treats. Not only that, but gobbled up the box of treats. Gobbled up the cardboard box of cardboard treats. And there's a speed limit, of course, of 20. And did I fucking drag race ahead of 6 cars so that the cameras would not find my car near that camel whenever it inevitably dropped dead from eating a fucking fist-sized box of cardboard box treats? I'm pretty sure the camel was fine because I never got a phone call or anything like that, but it definitely had a fucking rough bowel movement. Man, when I was younger, I used to have... My dad used to race horses. And we used to have... we always had lots of horses, 6 or 8 horses, but there was this one horse that he owned. He didn't train for other people, he trained for himself, and his name was Storyville. And that is because, obviously, these fucking horses, their names... they're the dumbest fucking names because... Like, a breeder will name them a hybrid of their dad's name, their mom's name, and their dad's mom's name. And, like, sometimes they're clever. Like, so one horse would be, like, something Sealster. Let's say fucking Rocky Sealster. And the mother's name would be Bingo Bango. So then the horse's name would be Bingo Sealster. Okay? Well, sometimes you get really clever. And, like, it'd be, like, Dark of Night and fucking, 5 a.m. would be the mother and the dad. And then the baby's name would be Dusk or something like that. I don't know, okay? Or like Sunrise. I have fucking an hour before sunrise. And there's an hour before sunrise coming around along. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But the horse's name was Storyville. And literally every time this horse took a shit, it would moan like you do when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to shit. Not even on the toilet. When you wake up in the middle of the night, your stomach's like, all right, there's no choice anymore. You've woken up 2 times prior to this. You try to tough it out. You now have to get out of bed and you go, oh. And that horse, every time we would take a dump, would make that noise. And really stretch it out for like 9 seconds. It'd be like... And that's the only thing I fucking remember from working with horses for 10 years. I don't remember anything. I know what a hock is. A hock is their fucking back knee. And it's shaped in the opposite way that a human knee is. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I think that's good. I'm still ironing out the kinks. And you know what? I really hope this is actually episode 3 and I don't have to do an episode 3.5. I don't want to fucking lose the audio again. The one job that Podbean has to do. And it's just like, okay, here's the good news. We did everything except one thing. The bad news is that one thing is everything. It's like technology, One of my college professors, he told me, he said, never count on tech. And this was a guy that still believed that newspapers were going to make a resurgence. And he said, technology will always fail you. And does it always fail me? Absolutely not. But does it 1% of the time? And is that 1% of the time usually critical? Oh, yeah. It sure is. All right, so here we go. Let's start this music up. Get the outro going. Okay. Listen, if you're enjoying this, send it to one person. If you've listened to 3 episodes and you haven't sent it to one person that's hopefully not or probably not listening to this, just do it. Just please do it, Listen, just do it. And if I find out you're not, I'm going to call you fucking a cunt, okay? You're not yet, but you fucking very well could be a cunt. And until next time, good luck and have fun.